a bunch of people from Nintendo and a bunch of people from Sega, and then they made the PlayStation. And then there's a story of one of the dudes who was like one of the project managers for Sonic at I think it's E3 by this point, or maybe he's still the C3, but at one of like the big electronics expos, like literally drowning Sonic balloons in the pool, like, and the head of Sega America being like, "You gotta stop," and is the guy being like, I can't stop. It's wild. It was absolutely fucking insane.
And you can learn more about this on Secret Histories of Nerd Mysteries.
Are we live?
Yes, for like 5 minutes now.
Wow. It wasn't 5 minutes. It was like a minute because the sponsor ad ended, and I was like, "There's no good way for me. I don't want to interrupt."
Yeah, I was like, "Oh,
like,
she's going. She's
fascinating.
at it. I don't want to."
This is fascinating. Oh,
I was like,
wait.
I'm so like, there's a reason why I've been binging fucking Secret Histories and Nerd Mysteries. I'm not gonna stop it when it happens in the real, naturally.
In the real, naturally.
Here we see the Austin in their natural habitat. Good stuff. Hi, hello, welcome. It's episode 88. No, 98. I can't count. 98 of The Mind of the Martyr. We are here. There are, touch wood, no further tech issues to worry about. Let's play some TTRPGs. Finally. I've been waiting for so long. Before we go ahead and jump into the session, though, there are a few folks I need to bring up who help keep us going here at Friends Roll Dice, especially during the hiatus. We have Dice Envy, which you've just seen the sponsorship reel for. The affiliate link is going to be in the chat. We have the wonderful folks at Grinding Coffee, a Black LGBT plus owned coffee company who create a fantastic mixture of blends and flavors for you to go ahead and check out at Grinding Coffee Co. You can throw in FWRD into the checkout for some money off your order there. They are wonderful and support a whole bunch of people in the streaming space as well, so go ahead and check them out. We are also a Roll20 ambassador stream. Roll20 is an online toolset that brings TTRPGs online and worldwide. You can go ahead and sign up for free or pay for one of the pro packages that they have to get a whole bunch of extra bonus features and things like that. There is also an online marketplace where you can buy entire TTRPGs already converted into Roll20, or just assets like maps and tokens and things like that if you just want to add a little bit of variety and the skill of some wonderful artists to your game as well. You can go ahead and check them out at roll20.net. And this is how we roll. Wonderful stuff. Speedrun intro. Who wants to go ahead and recap last session?
Ray, you're muted in meets.
I am upset. I am incredibly upset. Okay. Good stuff. Perfect. I'm so glad
I
did
am
all of
unmuted.
that.
As
And
I know
then
I am.
check out Dice Envy. Check out Grinding Coffee. Check out Roll20. Done.
This is how we roll.
There's the recap. Yeah, there we go. That's the recap. Who wants to go ahead and recap last session for us? That is the sign of 3 weeks having passed.
I was actively not here last time.
Yeah, no, you don't worry. You get a pass. You're good.
Oh my god, what are these notes?
I know, I have lots of them, and
I
they're hard
have
to read.
It was just a lore dump. Hiroki recognizes Harmony as a being thought to have been lost to history. They used to associate with the Celestials even without a shared language. So Sanctuary confirmed that it makes sense that Luna Cerritos would want their their deity back. The splitting of the moons sealed the planar barriers, so it makes sense that if the moons merge once more, the barriers would collapse, which is something that Aravathan wants. I asked a sanctuary the Jack question because you weren't here. What makes you feel alive? Their response was they experience many things. Oh my gosh. I can't read my handwriting. Individuals as we grow up until eventually we settle on something, a belief. Once we do that, that's how they choose their name and they devote their lives to that name. And then my last note is Jack saw a frosted landscape / hallucination and a voice that said, and I left myself a cliffhanger because I never finished that note.
They'll come back to me is what was said.
Okay. Thank you. They will come back to me?
Yeah. They'll. They'll.
Yeah.
They will.
I wasn't sure if it was they'll or they all.
Oh, yeah, they will.
Yeah, they will come back to me. They'll. Yes. Cool. Yeah, that's pretty much just. It was a lot of chatting last time. A lot of figuring things out. A few legend lores thrown out about a few things in the world, and a fishing experience that was going moderately well.
Oh yeah.
Before we go ahead and pull up at the island, I know that there is a scene that wished to happen, so I'm going to throw that over to y'all, as it's just a regular day during one of your travels. To set the scene, nothing unusual. There's the looming cloud off in the very, very, very far distance of whatever red-colored mist seems to permeate and cover across the area around the tomb. But other than that, it is a nice, clear day with the sun shining and a pleasant breeze.
Oh yeah. Mara has been communicating with Lupa every day, letting them know that now he's safe.
That's a smart
That is one thing that did happen.
That's a smart thing that you can do and I can't do. I guess that's my cue. I think Naui is somewhere. Is there like somewhere to lounge on this boat? Because it seems very small and efficient.
It's small and efficient, but it's also very luxurious. So yes, there are those kinds of areas. It's very much like a private yacht in a fantasy world,
Oh,
basically.
fuck.
Yeah,
I
it
was
is.
picturing like one of those like boats that you can take out snorkeling where to lounge you just lay on the front of the boat.
I mean, that's also an option. But no, this ship is built for speed, it's built for efficiency, and it's built for comfort. This is a like personal leisure vessel, basically, in comparison to some of the other ships you've been on.
I think Naui is lounging then on the front of the boat. She has a new swimsuit. This was very important to me, Austin, that I will never wear the same swimsuit twice in a beach episode.
Oh, thank goodness.
You can't listen. I recycle the same outfit every day for adventuring. I'm not going to do it for a beach episode. The beach episode is where you spend the budget that you save on the normal episodes, where you use the same outfit over and over for the model.
So, like, are Naui's swimsuits like the only thing that she recognizes the material worth of?
I think she does because she got a reaction out of Dewan, so now she's bought a lot of swimsuits.
She like actually pays like really
She's
careful
paid
attention
much.
to to the material, the cut, the style, the fabric. Like she's
Yeah,
like,
listen,
okay,
she's like, "Oh, I got a rise out of my partner. This will be fun." Um, so it is like that like ribbed material.
oh fuck.
And then the links for like the top and then the bottoms are like chain link.
I think I
Like
literally sold this swimsuit at work.
me looking at a picture, Jesse. Yeah, that's it. And it has like the bottoms have this like tie thing that go around the midsection that's just like open. And it's the same kind of like green that she always wears. But I'm just sitting up there until I because we're always connected. You're not more than 100 feet away from me on the boat.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, hey, what are you up to? Where are you?
I think you hear like frazzled static for a bit. And then I would make the connection. Sorry, I was making sure that I was stirring the potions, and it's really hard to make potions on a moving water vessel. I don't know why I thought that this was a good idea to start it here, but you know, now that I've started, I can't stop. And it's really
So
humid down here.
do you want you should come here then if it's hard.
Come, I mean, I was gonna ask come here, but I'm passing through the sleeping quarters on my way up to the boats if I don't. And like, you hear
There's
this?
only 4 rooms.
You hear
before-
this in your head as like you see Damon's head like crest the stairs. Like she was just talking to herself. Oh, you have a new swimsuits.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
I is that I like the material. It's really clingy.
Hmm?
Hmm? It looks good on you.
Thank you. It is very nice material. You can feel it. Probably later.
Definitely later.
Sit.
Okay.
I was wondering, you never talk about your parents? Is there a reason?
No, not really. We're close. They're just always traveling, and they're we're a very independent family, even though we are close. Like, you've met Nanette.
Yes. But you like your parents, yes?
Yes. Oh, yes. I actually might have revealed to them that I'm in a relationship. Um, well, I
Is
wrote
that
it to them in a letter. Or was
is
it
that
sent?
bad?
No, they were just surprised because the last time I corresponded with them, I was in a village full of healers, and now I'm helping the queen and I'm in a relationship. It was just a
Oh,
lot of
yes.
information to dump on them at one point.
Yes,
I understand.
that's a lot.
Yeah.
So you it isn't that you don't like to see them, you just do your own thing.
We just do our own thing. They're also traveling, but come from they're the kind of healer that shares knowledge through language and through practice. And I really liked books, and it became really hard to bring all of my books with me all the time.
That makes sense. Books are heavy, and before me, I don't know who carried your heavy things.
I did, and I'm not. I mean, you've met me. I'm not very strong. So when I had the opportunity to take an apprenticeship at a village and learn and contribute and contribute and access a shared library. It was kind of a great response or a great situation, but then my parents, they don't like to stay in one spot for very long, so they left, and we would keep in touch, but we're so bad at keeping touch. We're so bad at keeping touch.
That's okay. I could do better keeping in touch with my family. Would you want to be a princess?
I'm sorry, what?
If you had the chance to become a princess, like if the queen was like, you can be a princess, would you want to be a princess? Or does that sound like bad?
I have honestly never considered that question before in my entire life.
Oh, really?
It's not, I mean,
Like, we are helping the queen. Mara is nobility. Like, you're very close to like very royal people. I don't know. Just thinking.
that's true. I just never thought of being a prince. Aren't you also royalty?
Not really. Someone else asked me that recently because my mom acts like she's in charge, but no one's really supposed to be in charge of the Vale. But my mother doesn't like when there is not structure, so then she sort of does everything, so it seems like she's in charge. So, not I don't have a title, but I'm. Some people may think of me that way. I don't know if that counts.
I mean, I feel like that sounds less. It sounds like your mom is a mayor of the Vale.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
Well, it's not quite royalty, and it's someone that's usually. Did people agree to make her a leader, or did she just kind of put herself there?
She just sort of does stuff and people listen to her. She doesn't make anyone do anything, but people like it. People, especially new people, seem to like it more when there's some structure than just like being there, because they're used to people being in charge of things. And so I think it makes it easier for new people, and people who've been there longer just sort of, if there's a party, it's like, well, then I go to the party. Oh, there's a bingo night. Let's go play bingo. Oh, there's a garden over here. Okay.
It sounds like the Vale is both a nursery and a retirement home.
What is a retirement home?
It's a place where people who are older on in the years, and no longer are able to perform their occupations as effectively as they used to, go to relax and play bingo.
Oh, okay.
And, sometimes they hook up with each other, but that's another thing.
Lots of people hook up there.
Well, it sounds like a retirement home to me.
So I'm not a princess, and you don't know if you'd want to be a princess. And also, I'm from a retirement home?
I mean, young people can live in retirement homes.
Oh, okay.
Then Darwin just looks off to the side, and you see a flash of Ninit flit across her mind. Oh God, what have I? No, the Vale is beautiful, and relaxing, and dangerous. So it's not a retirement home because retirement homes aren't dangerous.
Oh, okay.
It's the Vale. Why are you asking if I ever considered being a princess? Not that I assumed that because you're royalty, then I would become royalty at some point. But
Now it just tosses her hair. I was just curious.
Being a princess sounds like a lot of work. Would it be anything like the queen? She just, I don't know.
I don't know what a princess does. I was just curious. I know one thing. Do you want to get carried like a princess?
Yes.
And then now I will scoop you up and be like, I think everyone's below deck.
Oh. Also, like,
And-
Dawan is tall. We've established that Dawan is decently sized.
We're both tall.
We're both tall. So this is like, whenever a tall person gets carried like a princess, the beaming smile on Dawan's face.
But I think now it's just like I think everyone's below deck and like gestures to because we took the nice room.
I mean, everyone's preoccupied, so we might as well take advantage of this time alone. And also the swimsuit. I would really like to
Think about the princess thing. She says while walking.
like a princess carry more than a princess carry.
And that's how you get your girlfriend to stop asking too many questions.
Also, that one was gonna go on to like I don't know if I could deal with us if I was the princess. Like a fucking random group.
That's
Strategic fade to black.
Strategic fade to black. I dropped it in our server, our private server, the swimsuit. Yeah, that is 1,000,000% what Naoi's plan was well, time to get her to stop asking questions. I've gotten all the data I need.
Yeah, we did not sell this. You mentioned, you forgot, you didn't mention that it was a bikini with extra straps for.
That's what I'm bad at describing things, okay? I'm a writer who doesn't know how to describe things. That's what editors are for. They're like, use this word, not this word. I'm like, oh, okay. Anyway, take it away.
Beautiful stuff. Cool. I know it's been a couple of weeks, so super quick. Any last minute things before we arrive at the tomb proper?
Jack was planning on casting, since we aren't going to be able to use magic, like when we're reaching like a threshold, maybe the magic starts feeling like weird. Cast Death Ward like a million times, like just like use it up, and then at least we have like a get out of death free card. Because it's already done.
Not today.
Yeah.
Beautiful stuff. Cool.
For 8 hours, I think it is, or something like that.
Yes, that lasts 8 hours. Cool. So
Yeah, Mara was just working with Logan on strengthening her mental defenses.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Good stuff. In that case, as the suns rise on another day.
I lied. Also, Heroes Feast, and that's
Heroes Feast. You can most certainly get a Heroes Feast in. Yes. I believe that is temp HP and either advantage or immunity to frightened. I don't remember off the top of my head. It's been a while since I've used Heroes Feast.
cured of diseases and poison, immune to poison and being frightened, wisdom saving throws with advantage. Hit point maximum increases 2d10, gains the same number of hit points. So yeah, the hit point max goes up.
We have to write this down somewhere, right?
24 hours.
All again.
It's a lot of things.
To
poison and frightened.
Cool.
Wisdom saving throws with advantage. Hit point maximum. Let me roll some d10s real quick. So it's are the zeros the 10? The zeros are the 10 because you can't get roll 0.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Well, then that's 20.
I also get confused by that.
Oof.
Get 20.
20. So that's like the full. That's like the thing. Yeah. I was like, you can't roll a 0, right? Because that would be.
I have 131 hit points right now. Then.
Wait, we all have an additional 20.
20.
Your max
So
goes
it's-
up by 20 and you gain 20 right now.
Mhm.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
would we? They're not temp though.
No, it's
No, they're
your
not
it's
temp,
your
they're
real
regular hit
it's your real
points. Yeah.
HP. It's easier in
So-
D&D Beyond to put it in as temp than going to change your max, but it is like your real max is 20 higher right now.
Okay.
It's one of those cases where like you can stack a temporary effect on top of it if you wish
Yeah.
to just
Yeah.
gain like 40, 50 extra health. It's kind of wild.
So
Okay.
20 extra HP, immunity to frightened and
20
poisoned.
plus HP.
Is there anything else?
Hold on.
Wisdom saves with advantage.
Yeah, wisdom
Wisdom
saves with
saves-
advantage.
Oh, I already do that, so I won't do anything for that.
Wiz save
And that would be for everybody
For 24
advantage.
hours.
for 24 hours.
So Ray
Yours-
teases-
Okay,
tells us
we're
that-
going in. We're gonna go wake Viz up. Hey.
Ray, we probably aren't fighting us. No,
No.
we're going to fight
Wait,
before the.
we are feeling heroic.
And up to 12 creatures can partake. So, like,
all of us. for sure.
Shikari, if,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. And I'll have Viridian as well partake. I'm like, just
Aw.
try it. Just, it's okay. I know we don't really do this kind of thing, but like, just watch what they're doing, mimic. It's fine. It's good for you.
That's a point for Jack, actually, for Jack and for
Yeah.
Viridian.
Just like,
Just
Jack.
like-
How do you keep it in your mouth?
is this, or is it, where is it supposed to go? Where is it supposed to go? What do you do with it when it's not in your mouth
It's just
anymore?
in- Jack just holding it in their mouth. Now what?
Yeah. Because she like, there's no stomach or anything.
It's like chewing gum. Eventually, you just have
Yeah.
to like take it back out. It's like that worked, right?
We give some to the chip lady.
Oh,
Goldie
yeah.
is still present.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Goldie can also partake.
Yeah.
I'll be like,
Goldie's
I
not gonna
don't-
say no to food.
I don't make food. So this is special. I think that like I don't know if I feel appreciation coming from you, but I feel like you should know that I don't do this often. So
Well, in that case, yeah, it's appreciated.
you're welcome.
I'm not gonna say no to food. Come on. They'll go ahead and also partake. So yes, make sure that you keep in mind those bonuses, and it'll last 24 hours. So as the suns rise, you find yourself approaching this precipice. You hear Goldie climbing the ropes, securing sections of the sails, sections of the ropes, and just doing a general maintenance once over as they kind of shout out. Okay, so this is probably gonna feel a little uncomfy, but that's gonna be fine. Just try not to be in your own head too much. Keep each other company. That's what we used to do here anyway. Thankfully, the monuments, the cave, the mausoleum, whatever you want to call it, is pretty close to the docking point here, so it's not going to be much of a walk at all to get you where you need to go. And as far as we know, everything else is empty, so you can wander if you want, but there's not exactly a lot to see. So I don't know. Shouldn't be anything too treacherous here. Just look after yourselves.
Famous last words.
And they will complete the finishing touches, return back to the wheel as this wall of fog, this red crimson fog, is ahead of you. The ship finally pierces that veil and slides in, and as the fog washes over you, there is an emptiness that comes across a lot of you. The wasteland, it was complicated. It felt like a struggle with magic. It felt like you were wrangling it. Here, it's just gone. It's a very absent feeling. The effects across you and your enchantments and things like that are very clearly still in effect. But when it comes to your ties to your magical abilities, there isn't any.
I have 2 questions.
I have one question.
Is the group chat still active, and is my mind link still active?
Yes and yes, because they're kind of considered enchantment effect, like prolonging effects at this point. Ongoing. There we go. That's a better word.
As a shifter, if I shift, is that magical or physical?
That's innate.
Okay.
That is a magical creature doing something it can do, rather than you specifically casting a spell. It would be this.
Okay. Yeah.
It'd be the same as like Jacaranda can still rest, for example.
we cross we cross the pog and look over Jacaranda.
Just a normal tree. Just a regular tree.
And I still talk to Shikari.
Yes.
Good.
Shikari,
can you smell anything weird, out of the ordinary?
Just a smell of iron in the wind. It's kind of evident for all of you, but that's about it.
The smell iron like blood. I feel like I would understand the smell of blood.
Yeah.
Okay.
Long since dry, but it's still just a bit of a tinge across the area.
Ew.
I think now I have the most feral reaction, which is like I smell that, and now we cannot help but like bare her teeth a little. Yeah, absolutely. Like your little weird wolf girlfriend.
I mean, no, like Dawn's shifter, so she also probably smells it, and all of her, her outline is a little fuzzier than normal, as all of the like subtle fur on her body just kind of goes poof. Her tail's poofy. She is upset.
This is bad.
I do not like this feeling. I thought the wastes was bad. I don't like this.
I know some of you use more magic than me. Hiroki, are you okay?
You did?
Flying thing.
Okay.
Is there like a dock or something, Goldie, or do we don't have to swim in this water, do we?
Not at
Swim?
all. There's a jetty a little further up. Yeah, I wouldn't make you swim in this, believe me. I'll get us roped up in just a few and headed on over, and it's only like a 20-minute walk, maybe, from here. Probably less than that, probably about 15, to where the sleepers are kept.
Mara's just looking to see if she sees anything. She doesn't know what to expect. So it's like, can't check to see if something's out of the ordinary, because I have no idea what ordinary is for here. But
it is painfully it's painfully obvious that this is very much a null space in every sense of the word. There's not really a temperature here. It's not particularly hot, not particularly cold. It's just kind of is. Sound doesn't really continue in the way that you would expect. The churning of the water and the waves seems to deaden just a little bit away from the source. Whenever you're speaking to each other out loud, your voice carries on for a little bit, but it seems to die out very quickly. And it's, yeah, just a strange area to be in. The rules of existence aren't quite broken, but they're also not really playing ball either. You feel the ship itself rock a lot less here. The occasional wave will lap against the ship itself, but in general, the water is far more still than it is elsewhere. Eventually, the actual silhouette of a piece of land is in front of you, and this fog is thick, very, very thick. As you get there, the fog itself begins to break away, and you see this flat, scarred, redstone land in front of you. The only thing that you spot in this horizon are two red torches. These small kind of red orbs. There seems to be another set a little bit further away, kind of creating this pathway. As Goldie begins to moor up at the jetty, the ship begins to stabilize. All right. Well, here's your stop. I'll wait here for a bit. You let me know what you need to do, I guess, and just keep in contact as best you can, and I'll have the ship ready whenever you want to dip.
You're muted.
You're muted.
I am.
You were
I don't think-
muted?
You're coming through now. You weren't before. That's weird.
Do we have a sending stone or something we can leave with Goldie?
Is that what I can't? I think we got a sending stone from the queen, but that's like
Right,
they have the other one.
that's the one.
Yeah.
Right. Logan, are your abilities okay here? Would you be able to communicate with Goldie if we need you to?
Logan looks a little less uncomfortable than y'all, but is still definitely perturbed, to say the least, as they get themselves sorted, pack up this little rucksack. Yeah, I can probably make a link, but anything else here? Nah, not gonna happen. If worst comes to worst, then yeah, I could go ahead and give him a poke, but that's kind of all I could do, unfortunately.
A poke is better than nothing, I guess, as far as communication goes.
Just and they turn to Goldie. If you feel something super weird, just kind of like knock at your door, just it's probably me. So, don't worry about it. Kind of just two thumbs up and just smiles a little.
Oh wait, you should make like a code word, because what if someone else knocks and then she lets them in and then it's not you?
Sure. No, that's a good idea. Code word.
Maybe send it like in that. Can you only do it one time? Because if you say it out loud, and there's things like watching us, then they would have the code word. Or like if we get like corrupted or something, then we would know the code word.
Just
that's a very good idea.
Just
actually.
write it down and show it to each other.
Mm-hmm. That's fine. We'll do
it's
that
something that the GM could probably set up and not do this about. This way in the narrative, we feel more comfortable that there's no funny business because we said things.
Now his nose bleeds a little.
Oh, that's
What
really
is this
bad.
DM?
You
Who
just
is this
putting those,
entity you've spoken of?
using those Stranger Things psionics.
Logan pulls out a little slip of paper, a little pen, just begins jotting down something. Walks over to Goldie. There's a little transaction that happens before they both nod at each other. Goldie looks out at the horizon, looks back out towards y'all. Just, all right, off you go. Enjoy your very weird holiday.
It's not really a holiday. We are working, I say as I get off the boat.
Fair. I've done weirder things for money.
Have you?
Yeah. There's a few strange stories. Another time. Preferably over a drink.
I'll need one. I might break my drinking. No, I won't. I'll still have tea, but I don't like this place.
Mara turns to Nami and goes, I don't think there's any point in stealth, and I want to get out of here as soon as possible. So let's go.
And if
Is that Mara's permission to let Naui just sprint to her?
Basically.
oh,
It's like, we're not sneaking. Let's go.
The big like plume of dust behind, like anime style, as you're just.
Yeah, I'm out of here. I will scout ahead then, and I take off. I wanna. Is there anywhere I can go towards like try and get a vantage point for us? And I know they also said the sleepers are nearby. Like I wanna. I'm moving that way to try and suss stuff out.
So the area around you, now that you're here, imagine a snow globe. Instead of the glass, there's this fog. So there is a area in the center here, like encompassing the actual island itself, where you can look and see. There's a reddish tinge to everything, a haze, as it were. And these lanterns are very much creating a way, a pathway. Following that for a little while, most of the land here is either cracked and torn with breaks and fissures and very obvious, actual damage, or is flattened, save for this structure ahead, this cavern that seems to have almost been deliberately created, deliberately molded. It is the only real thing in the landscape. It is where the torches themselves also point, and theoretically, if you wanted to go around and up instead of into the cavern, you would be able to get a vantage point above of everything else.
There's been activity near the cavern.
Sorry, you crackled a little.
Does it look like there's been activity near the cavern? I think I want to check that first.
Okay. Go ahead and make me a perception check real quick.
Perception. Excuse me. I'm really good at that. 17.
Okay. Taking a look from where you are, you don't see anything disturbed specifically. The one thing you do notice, though, is a smell that breaks through. It's almost sharpened by the fact that it's the first thing you've really smelled here at all. There's a smell of a soft incense. very, very faint, coming from the cavern itself.
I don't know how far ahead I actually am, but I would leave just like an arrow in the dirt and keep going towards the cavern.
All right.
I mean, you said
How's
this
everyone
place.
else? Sorry.
I was just gonna say, you said this place is pretty. What's the word? Sterile.
Mm.
Would I be able to sniff Nahi out? Yeah. So like, I don't think I feel like your trail would be very easy for Dawn to follow, arrow or no.
Yeah, wouldn't be too tricky. But
If
the
we-
arrow
if
is
we wanted to
a
keep-
nice confirmation, at
Okay.
the very least.
If we wanted to keep our movements more subtle.
How's everyone else handling this little journey here?
Damara asked Dawn, so in your research of this place, was it always barren? Or so did this place exist before they trapped Viz here, or did it come about in the training?
I know that it came about in the trapping, but what was it like beforehand? I don't think we actually talked about that.
This place used to be known as the Scaleheart. It was the home of the dragons. And before this and the War of the Shadow Scale, this was the closest thing to paradise that you could really get for draconic entities. This is where they congregated and spent time together and forged communities beyond just the types of dragons. This was a civilization almost. This is the birthplace of a few of the species in Veka. This is the birthplace of the Dragonborn. This is the birthplace of changelings. This is the birthplace of many of the Draconis, as they call themselves, the dragon descended. And it was huge and sprawling and beautiful. And once the war of the Shadow Scale had broken out in full force, and this had driven out those that were here, and the battles that proceeded, and eventually the land just gave in. With the amount of magic and combat and death, it just kind of shattered the place on both a physical and a magical level.
So it's because of the war, not necessarily because of the final act.
Exactly. Just the entire scenario. The ceiling itself was probably the last nail in the coffin, but it was heading that direction anyway. Not like everything was gorgeous and then the ceiling happened and then all of a sudden everything was ruined. It was a process between a extended confrontation.
Dawn relays all that information. Are you thinking we could maybe reverse the effects?
Not necessarily.
You were just.
I was just wondering if it had always been a null place or if it had come about. We do know that this is supposedly pure energy and can't be destroyed. But I'm wondering if this place is able to keep them because it is null. Then I'm wondering, what's it like inside the cone? Logan, do you remember? Is it like this?
Not unlike it. There's a jarring similarity, actually. Not identical, but similar enough to be making me uncomfortable. It wasn't exactly a enjoyable time in there, you know.
Right.
Yeah, no, not identical, but not pleasant regardless.
When you were in the cone, could you sense like the magic's outside the cone? Because from what I understand it, the cone sucks in magics.
It's like a mm, it's like when you put two bowls of water next to each other that are connected. The way that water flows, it wants to even out. Wants to make sure that they're, but that's just how physics works. It's kind of the same thing. If you cast magic into a space that has no magic, it wants to fill everything, wants to reach out and fill that space. That's how essentially just how the cone works. The cone is it's empty. The device itself is completely inert, apart from when magic is used around it. And all of a sudden, magic that is used, it wants to fill that space, that emptiness. And that's how the cone is powered. Eventually, it has enough power that it can reactivate and open itself up again. It's a very simplified explanation, but essentially that's how it works. I feel like here is perhaps a bit too far gone for that. Doesn't feel quite right.
I think at that time is when Naru probably told Dewan that she smells something weird and she's going inside.
Be careful.
Yes, of course.
Shouldn't need to tell you this every single time, but I'm going to tell you this every single time. Please be careful.
I will be very careful. There's no magic, so if I die here, it will probably be for keeps.
Great.
As we start walking faster, as
Yeah.
Juan's hearing this.
As Dawn is like, do I want to shift now or am I going to wait?
Know how to scout. I will be fine. If I see something, I will turn around. I really want to go up on the mountain and see if I can see anything, but one thing at a time.
One thing at a time. Investigate. Be safe. Punch things if they get too close.
No running.
I can't say no running. At this point, she is sprinting.
All right. So, Nami, as you step forward, the cavern itself is vast and doesn't seem to be particularly dangerous or foreboding. Like, there's no fortifications or obvious traps or anything like that. There's nothing to deter from this place. Once you get close enough to actually see the perspective inside, you see a vast collection of rows upon rows upon rows of these beautiful, ornate, white stone boxes, almost sarcophagi of sorts. That very kind of obvious regal presentation. There's many of them that continue all the way through and down the cavern. They're packed tightly and neatly and very deliberately placed. Surprisingly, The white stone here is perfectly clean. It has been well tended, well looked after. Out of everything else here, they're almost like torches being like shot in your face. They're very bright in comparison to the rest. You do indeed smell stronger now. This incense, this very calming incense, I think would be the best word. That kind of just underlying relaxing fragrance. Fragrance.
Barrage.
It's
Marriage.
it's fragrance from the Fey realm.
Fragrance.
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 Someone write that down. That's really good.
Yes. Fragrance. That's great. I like that. You see multiple little dishes, almost like a little dais on top of each one. Most of them are completely empty, but there's a few that are lit with a soft lavender purple flame. You see a silhouette, probably 15, 20 or so boxes back in the cave. There is a robed individual wearing just a very, very basic kind of robe, very traveler's style, like tied up with a rope around the side. Hood down, you see a black mask individual. Their hair has been pulled back and tied up incredibly neatly. You can see the various locks that have been pulled back and tied are also incredibly neat. And they seem to be just at one of these sarcophagi. Their hands are together. There's a little bit of mumbling before they pull a small tinderbox up, strike a flame, place some herbs into the center of this little dais, light a flame, bow towards it, and they move on to the next box.
They don't like react to me at all?
No.
Excuse me?
Their head goes down, their hands clasped together, and they continue to mumble to themselves.
Hello?
They light the flame. Their head turns towards you. You see an incredibly young individual, probably 20, 21. They hold themselves with a grandeur that very much counteracts their age on first look, perhaps. They look towards you, and there's two golden irises that look back towards you. There's a small smile, a respectful little nod your way.
Hi. I am here in order of the Queen. I almost said Queen Mara. That's the wrong Queen. Queen Elowen.
Not yet.
I am here in order of Queen Elowen. I am a contractor, I suppose, to inspect the island to make sure there's nothing going wrong, because I have a feeling that something might be going wrong. Not that you are doing. You're supposed to be doing what you're doing, yes?
Yes. Yes, I am. Most certainly supposed to be doing what I am doing.
I will trust you on that until someone better with people gets here. They will probably also ask you what you're doing because I will ask, but then I will not understand and also forget. But I am here to take a look around. How long have you been here?
As long as I can remember, I suppose. Days kind of blur together.
Were you born here? Like you had a childhood somewhere else, yes?
No memories of a childhood.
One. We.
Do you need a punch? I give you permission to punch.
No, I am talking to someone and they are like weird for me. And you and Mara and Hiroki are better at talking to people.
What do you mean weird?
Like, I guess think of me, right? Think of me, kitten, and it's weird for me. And I know I'm weird. I didn't know what a retirement home was.
Okay, all right.
I will try to keep them busy. They said they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. I don't know if that's okay. They just said they don't remember being a child, so.
The line cuts short. How far are we from each other?
It's probably about now that you spot the cavern with a Navi silhouette in front. Navi's probably got like one or two more questions if they wanted to ask them before you would catch up.
Okay.
Do you have a name?
I believe people like to call me Aika. I think
What?
it fits.
What people do you talk to?
Just the one nowadays. There's someone who swings by every week or so, just to cast a keeping spell on the bodies that are here.
Right, yes, they cast a spell. A real spell, yes.
Might be more than a week, actually. I don't quite remember. But something to make sure that these people stay safe. It's probably about then.
Yeah, I starts like Snow starts looking.
Steps on in as Naomi's like.
Oh, look! It is the people I talked about, and three of my friends here are very good at talking to people. They would love to talk with you, I am sure, and hear about your very important work here. Aika was just telling me that somebody comes by like once a week and casts a spell on the bodies.
So question. Not for Aika. Question for the DM. So do these robes look familiar? And you said they were wearing a mask. Does the mask look familiar?
No, they're not wearing a mask. They
okay.
have a hood pulled down.
Okay.
They look young.
They are very, very young. Yes.
Ray said mask like masculine.
Yes. Sorry. Just to confirm.
I see.
A masculine presenting individual.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Very young, gold irises. The robe itself has absolutely no decoration. It is just a plain, like, beige brown, like, esque. It's just a piece of cloth.
So it doesn't look like the cultist robes that
not at all. No.
Okay.
No.
And then, in my memory of memories, what color were Viz's eyes?
Viz is black.
Okay.
Like very, very
like before they
aggressive,
return,
like umbral black purple is very much Viz's color scheme, so doesn't match.
Just want to make sure.
I all I was gonna say was I want to, like, as soon as I get there. No, wait, which one is it? Just I would love to do insight check on this person. I can't do detect good or evil. I can't do any spells. I'm just gonna insight check them.
Okay. Go ahead and insight check.
Oh no.
If you have a silver ring, you can shake their hand to see if they are aware.
My dice are
Was in a
all
campaign, lots of were rats.
Suddenly, a werewolf.
This is gonna take a 5 ever. My dice are so far away. 13.
Okay. It's hard to tell whether the sincerity is trickery or legitimate.
Or legitimate obliviousness. Okay.
Yeah, they seem pretty difficult to read in this situation.
What's their name again?
Aika.
Aika.
Aika, you said someone comes once a week and they cast a spell? And
Might
how do they
be-
cast how do they cast the spell?
Oh, it's a whole ritual for them, it would appear. Yes, might be more than a week, might be a little more, but they will go ahead and open every single one, and then they will cast their spell on the individual, and then close it back up again, and it's a whole thing.
And how long has it been since they were here?
Mm, 4 days ago, maybe.
And what does it look like when the spell is cast?
There's a very, very powerful pulse of gold energy, and that's all that I know. It's magic doesn't really work here, so it's quite impressive to see it go off. I feel like in another scenario, in another situation elsewhere, it would be a very big, grand display, but here everything is toned down somewhat.
So you know that magic doesn't work here, yet someone comes once a week and casts magic in front of you, and that doesn't seem weird to you. It's just like a normal thing.
Oh, it seems incredibly weird, but also so is a so is a man walking around lighting incense in a dead land. So, I'm not exactly in a place to judge anyone that stumbles across. I mean, you're weird. All of you are very weird for being here in the first place. So, it's
Well,
And
I would
why
just
are
like to
you here?
point out that you're kind of weird.
You don't remember your
Um,
childhood.
that's fair.
And did someone tell you that this person should be here doing that thing that they're doing? Like, are you protecting these people?
We've come to an understanding. I
Just
think
with
is
that weirdo person that comes here, you came to an understanding, or like the person who told you to be here taking care of these heroes?
Oh, no one told me to come here.
So you're not supposed to be here either. You're just letting people into a place you're not supposed to be.
I love this character, unironically.
Me, here are my friends who can talk to people. And Jack, what the fuck is wrong with you? I mean, here is my friend who talks like this.
During this time, can I be doing some investigation and arcana checks on like the dishes and the sarcophagi and
Literally
Sure,
anything
yeah.
else that's happening.
Roll me Okay, so you can pick. I'll give you the choice. This will depend on what kind of information you'll get. You have investigation, which will help with the sarcophagi specifically. You have arcana to perhaps attempt to figure out what spell is being cast by this individual that they're talking about. Or you can try a religion check, and that would be the actual ritual itself that is happening in front of you. And what that is. I will let you pick what information you would like to try for. It is gonna be a high DC.
Investigation first.
Okay. Roll me an investigation check then.
Mara would like to use her knowledge of religion that she's been studying and find out what the heck is Ica doing? What is up with this?
5. Was that 22?
Holy
22.
shit.
Nice.
Nice.
You take a moment to get a little closer towards the sarcophagi, and as you do so, Ica just kind of raises a hand very nonchalantly and just, please just be careful with these. They've been maintained for a long time. Feel free to take a look, it's fine, but just don't break anything, because I'll be blamed for it, and I'm
Who?
Who's gonna blame you?
I wouldn't want you to get
Who
in trouble
knows
for
you're
what I say.
here?
I appreciate you taking care of things. As you look across, these are indeed like gorgeous, beautiful, ornamental. There's not a lot of specific engravings in the sense that like there's no like languages written on them or anything like that. It's more just decorative patterns and things like that. Each one is exactly the same. And yeah, judging by the way that it's been worked and the stone that's been used, you're not exactly a huge stonesmith, but like these have been here for quite some time at this point. Although the war itself is history, this looks like it could have been built today. In terms of how fresh and new it looks. The stone itself, however, is very old. It's just been correctly treated and looked after. That is about all you would know without knowing stonesmithing and having proficiency in those tools. As this is happening, Mara, go ahead and roll me a religion check. As
22 as well.
wonderful stuff. As Ica kind of explains, I came here when I found out about this particular scenario, situation, piece of history, whichever you would like to do. There was already someone here, and they very clearly knew what they were talking about, because they were saying, well, they didn't really say a lot actually, but they were looking after the bodies. They were making sure that they were fresh and clean and looked after and not decaying. Making sure that when eventually we figure out how to fix this, that they would have lives to come back to, essentially. I kind of do the same, but on the spiritual side. I have been looking into the malady itself and trying to figure out whether we can look after the area or change it or coax them back somehow. I'm a beekeeper, but for souls. That's basically what we're doing here. And corroborating that that recitement almost, Mara, as you're taking a look at the little ceremony going on here. It straddles that fine line between alchemy and necromancy, where it is very much a setup to help souls pass. It's a very kind of traditional magic, so to speak, traditional ceremony, just without the actual magical components, basically, to help souls move to where they need to go, to get rid of spiritual blockages. Very witchy.
So you're trying to make sure the people stay here, or are you trying to help them move on to the beyond?
I am trying to make sure that they go where they need to go instead of being stuck in limbo. I don't
So
know
you
what
think
that is.
they're stuck in limbo? You don't think they're just asleep?
We don't really understand the malady, the condition, but the bodies are still very
What
much...
prompted you to come here?
School, history, I guess. Curiosity, partly.
What school? Because you don't remember childhood, so what school was this?
No.
We were told that they send people every so often to check on stuff here. Aika's only mentioned one person, correct? Is this cavern just like a dead end? Like, do I have to leave if I want to go around anywhere else?
You could go further back into the cave if you do so wish.
I think, kind of like in the middle of everything. Aika, do you have somewhere you stay? I assume you don't stay in this room all the time.
No. I usually stay towards the back. I have a little tent and things set up for while I'm here.
No, he walks away.
Okay, well, enjoy your snooping.
Mara tells Shikari to follow Nawi. So what school?
And not a formal schooling, just individuals that I ran into. Some of them incredibly skilled in certain arts, and some of them were a little eccentric. But I just picked things up as I went along, basically.
So let me get this straight. You're traveling around. You hear, oh, there's this place where like over 1,000 people are sleeping. And you decided to come look? What?
Yes. Exactly. I
Two
don't
of
know
you.
Who the fuck was there before them? Someone else was there, they said.
Well, they've mentioned two people at this point. There's the person that comes and does the magic, the golden magic, and then there's the person who was there before. Also, that one's going with you, just FYI.
So when you got here, there was someone here, not the same person who comes and is the caretaker, for a better word.
There is, yes. The caretaker and the beekeeper, I guess, is probably the two best analogies.
Well, you said you're the beekeeper.
Exactly.
And then there was a caretaker who comes and makes sure the stone is okay and that the bodies aren't decaying. But you said there was another person who came here previously. Was it just a different caretaker?
Oh, yes. They were just an individual that did pretty much the same thing. They used to be a little more hands off I guess. They used to bring scrolls. That's the one. The big pieces of magical parchment. Instead of just doing it themselves, they used to read off of the scrolls. But she stopped coming quite a while ago now. A few years at this point, I think.
Okay. I don't mean to be rude, but you appear to be very young.
Mm-hmm.
But the way you're speaking, you are not very young.
No, I'm not.
Okay. Are you of draconic lineage?
Not at all.
Elfin.
Not at all.
Okay, then I don't want to say what are you, but what are you?
Where are you from?
Where are you from?
No,
Like,
no.
where are you really
No.
from? But where are your ancestors from?
I get just shrugs, chuckles. So is this the part where I get to grill you with questions?
I'm an
No.
open book. Go ahead.
No, I don't think you get to ask questions yet because you haven't really answered our questions. You say you don't even remember things.
Jack ate food today and is feeling it.
She's our inquisitor now. Ever since she started asking
The
questions,
questions
like,
never stop.
I let her.
What do you think happens when you die?
Yeah, tell me.
What makes you feel alive?
Yeah.
Do you want to keep feeling it?
I'm a
I
druid
think-
now. I speak for the trees. If you don't tell me
Yes.
how you're feeling, I'll break your fucking knees.
Oh my gosh. I think this is suspicious, and I don't think you realize how this is a very important place, and I think you know that because you've said that you came here because you were curious, but nobody told you to come here. You stayed here. You don't leave. You have no explanation for that. And that doesn't feel very safe right now. I don't feel safe with you. And I do mean that in a rude way.
Miranda's like, I don't need an insight check. I don't trust her.
Yeah.
That's fine.
It's not fine. I'm telling you, it's not fine.
You are. Admittedly, there's not a lot of visitors that arrive here. You do get the occasional band of misfits going, hey, we're gonna hide under people's noses.
Say
But,
more about that.
Hmm?
Say more about that. Who's hiding? Who comes and hides?
Oh, just petty bandits, petty fools trying to get away, trying to hide from this person or that person, and then
And
they.
what do you do?
I say hello, and then they grill me with questions, and then they call me weird and say that I'm probably going to kill them, and then they leave.
They leave like of their own accord?
Yeah.
Did you just call me a petty bandit?
You picked the wrong one today. What happened with Ica? We dealt with it.
I'm not calling you. I'm just saying, like, you're not the first, and you are most certainly not going to be the last either. That's all I'm saying.
We might be. This could be the end of the world. So I think maybe we have things you don't know.
Maybe you should sort that out then, instead of I don't know how to help you. I'm doing what little I can to hopefully help. That's kind of where I'm at. If you don't think I'm safe, that's totally understandable. I'm a weirdo in a cave in a deadlands that's sniffing herbs
ancient-
and mumbling under their breath.
Ancient weirdo in a cave in a Deadlands. Don't forget the ancient part, because you are old.
And I thought that you wanted these people to get woken up, but you're saying you want their spirits to move on. So if they get woken up and they don't have their spirit or their soul, that sounds like it's not good. So what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
We don't know how the malady works. We only know that they are displaced. They are stuck in limbo. They cannot be accessed through the ephemeral or astral planes, and they cannot be contacted by any magics outside of this place that would relate to contacting the dead. So they are clearly stuck somewhere. I don't want to waste a lot of time trying to bring someone back that cannot be brought back in that way. If they can be, if their souls can be returned and their connections returned, fantastic. If they cannot be, well, we go ahead and make the spirit move on. It then passes, and then we can go about resurrection rituals to bring them back. But you can't resurrect someone whose spirit is currently in limbo. Their soul is stuck.
As you said, we don't know enough about this malady, and what if them being in the state that they are in is the only thing keeping this world safe and keeping Viz asleep?
I mean, I don't know anything about that kind of that side of things, unfortunately.
Right, so you shouldn't be mucking around with things you don't know.
Jack just takes a step back and lets Mara take over.
I think we got off on the wrong foot. Hello, my name is Hiroki.
Ah, the good cop.
It's good cop time, Hiroki. Whoa,
Yeah.
whow.
Yeah.
I
So
guess.
we had bad cop,
Bad cop,
good
bad cop. Bad cop inquisitor. Good cop.
Time out.
Mara's just tired of ancient beings doing whatever they want.
Amen.
Hello, Haruki. It's a pleasure, I'm sure. Thank you. Hope you have a wonderful stay. Eyebrow raises.
I'll try. I'll try my best. It feels weird around here, for sure, but I'll do my best.
As we flick over the conversation for a second, towards Dawan and Nami, the corridor continues for quite some time as, again, more and more kind of rows of these boxes until you do reach the final back of the cave. There is indeed, off in the far, far corner, a small little tent, kind of very roughly, very sporadically, kind of just pitched, and a few belongings kind of just scattered across. There is a huge purple black stain in the very, very back wall. This huge circular stain that has been covered in arcane sigils that are humming and buzzing. The only magical thing that seems to have survived in this place is this. The symbols themselves very softly hum and pulse and thum as they create almost these arcane chains of sigils across the point here itself.
See, and I look at Dawan. Well, I guess that's probably the thing, yeah?
I would say that's a dragon. That's a sealed dragon.
I won't touch it. You should probably look it over to make sure it looks intact. I'm not good at that kind of thing. I want to go check the tent. If there's a journal, anything that gives us some sense of time, since apparently they don't remember anything. We got told that people come check, but it sounds like the person they're talking about isn't what we were told. We were told many people come check, so something is not adding up.
I also don't know who was here before, and that worries me. Um,
I'm going to go rifle through their things, but I doubt there's anything helpful if they didn't stop us.
yeah.
So I'm gonna go rifle through the tent. And do I know, like, I don't know how to look at sigils.
I was gonna say I can do like an Arcana or history check. I don't know if history check would be the right one. Arcana check.
Sure thing. You can go do an Arcana check. As Nawe, you step over to the camp here. You find not a whole lot. There's a small bedroll that's been laid out that is clean, but definitely has kind of like tears and holes and things in it from repeated use, and very low maintenance. There is a it's not really a tent. It's like someone tried to make a tent from the memory of what a tent looks like. It's just like a pole with a piece of fabric that's just kind of thrown over. There is a small bag that has a small pouch inside. The bag itself is open and just kind of there. There's a small pouch and there is a pendant inside. It's just there. There's a few rations, there's a few drinks, and that's it here. It's very sparse.
They would have to have more stuff.
How are a few rations? Who's supplying them with food? Do they
Yeah,
eat? Do they sleep?
What's this medallion?
The medallion itself is
Also, there's nothing else in the bag or pouch. It's only, right?
yeah, so it's just the pendant and the closed pouch.
Oh, I open the pouch also. I'm rifling.
Rifle.
Go for it. You find 5 diamonds and 200 platinum pieces.
What the fuck? I will write that down. Tell me about this pendant.
The pendant itself is a very obviously a holy symbol. And you would roll me a little bit of religion check, actually. I want to see whether you recognize it.
Okay. I want to know. I'm not taking them to take them. I'm taking them to show to Dewan because I understand some diamonds are for magic. And I'm not going to take the 200 platinum. I'm just going to know they have effectively $2 million.
Yes. Yes.
Just in a sack. In a tent.
You said religion?
Yes.
Okay. I rolled high, thank God, because I'm not like skilled in that. 18.
Okay. Not too difficult to identify, thankfully. You probably don't know a lot about them specifically because they're not really a deity that's massively affiliated with the Veil. But the symbol of the thorn bush and the mixture of dying plant matter and this kind of like rebirthing plant life that spreads across the pendant itself denotes Ikolta, which is the deity of commerce, memory, death, and war. They are also known. They are also known as the Revelation. So they are the deity of death, war, commerce, memory, and the hunt.
Also known as the Revelation, which is not menacing at all. Okay. Okay. I will let other people do things as I resolve that while other things are happening, and I will come back to someone in a bit.
Cool. Dewan.
My Arcana roll was a 14.
Okay. The situation's a little hard to read for you. You're not that trained in arcane magic, and especially not at this scale. But there is indeed a very powerful magical effect being used here. It is indeed some kind of sealing magic. The one thing that you would notice, just due to experience, is that the wards are incredibly well maintained.
Okay, so it doesn't look like they're weakening or
Not to your eye here. They seem well looked after. They seem refreshed, if anything.
Because there's over 1,000 people asleep in there, powering this.
I think Dawn.
Batteries.
Oh no.
Organic batteries.
I think Dawn. I'm going to. I want to sketch out like the makeup and the runes of what I can see real quick. For Mara to look at. When we meet back up, and also I feel like it's just like, was there up in my extensive research of this space, was there note work or spell work of this particular binding spell, or is it kind of like nobody really knows because no one has been there, or it's
there are a few. There's no like diagrams or anything, but there's been mentions of the spell itself.
okay.
There are not many people who were involved in its creation who either didn't fall to the Aether Sleep or have now expired. For that, you would have to look at the upper echelons of the Magicanum.
Okay. So yeah, Dawn's gonna take some like detailed personal notes to share with the group. Because knowledge is power, and we're all about sharing knowledge. No gatekeeping here.
The only other thing I'd like to do back here before you go back to the other group is
Before you hear Mara yell.
Yeah, I have that blind seat that's 10 feet. I would like to walk along like the walls, besides where the runes are. I will not walk along that. But I like now he's like, this is to her kind of logic, none of this is adding up. We were told people to come check on it, and there's like one guy who is like, no one told me to come here, just came here, and this other person shows up. They don't have any sort of journal keeping, which is just like a weird thing. Like if you live in solitude, to not have a journal anywhere. They have a little bit of food, but they should have a supply somewhere. So now he is like, if there's like tracks that go somewhere, where like now he is like, where this math isn't mathing. So she's trying to see if she can math this math here, and if not, then we'll deal with it on like the other part of the island. But the math is not mathing.
You hug the edge of the wall, continue around, and nothing pings with your blind sense as you're walking along until you reach towards the little makeshift campsite. You step along the wall and reach like the crease of the corner. And there is a invisible but firm magical signature behind the wall.
Can I roll to try and find? Is there like a way to open the wall? I'd look for a way to open the wall.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Nat 2026.
Nice.
Damn.
You do see a very rough circular cutout that is discreet enough that even a relatively regular perceptive eye would miss it. It's very flushed and inlaid with the actual wall itself, but your senses are a little sharper. There's a small circular indent.
I whisper, even though I'm not talking out in your head. Duan, I found something.
Okay. What did you find?
There's something behind this wall. I think I found how to open it, but I don't want to open it alone.
That one is at your side immediately.
Now I would take your hand, and I guess put her hand, or I don't know how big it is. I would, as much as my body I can put into this hole, I try to put in to see if it opens the wall.
Oh, you're fully.
So you're like putting your arm in.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yes, absolutely.
Uh-huh.
You reach in, and you reach in, and the indent, the hole of the wall around you seems to fall away and expand. And instead of being stone and rock, it's almost like putting your hand through jelly. As you reach further and finally hit something on the tip of your fingers, there's this almost slightly... you recognize a portal. You've been through a portal before. You recognize how that feels. You feel that like moving magic on the tip of your fingers. And it's about now that Mara, you hear Mara's shout echo and this whole like conversation begin to happen. You reach until that little part is at your fingertips. Do you keep going?
I pull it back.
What?
And I look. It's a portal.
It's a portal?
Yes, I don't know where, but they are upset. I will sit right here, I promise, to make sure nothing makes it go away. But you should go see why they are shouting.
I'll go check on our friends, make sure nothing comes in or out of that portal.
You got it.
This includes you. Do not go.
I am not going anywhere. I have something very important to do.
Okay. And now it's gonna Naui? Dawn is going to kiss Naui and then scurry back to her.
Tamara,
friends.
I will keep Shikari here for help.
Oh, that's right. I forgot Shikari was here. Okay.
And I sit down looking at the wall.
Weapons drawn.
Yeah.
You begin to step on back, Dawn, just as Mara's little outburst here. You see Aika looking a little kind of frazzled, like I don't really know what to say here, looking at Jack and then looking at Mara and then the complete like 180 of Hiroki just being like, hey, hi, how's it going? There's a little
I'm trying to
social
help.
sensory overload across their face. I really don't I don't I'm trying my best. That doesn't mean I'm exactly doing things right. It just means I'm trying my best. Doing something is
Hey,
better than
we're
doing
all
nothing.
trying our best.
No,
Well-
no, sometimes doing nothing is the right thing. You don't just poke things you don't know about.
Speaking of poking things we don't know about, what's with the portal in the back?
Hiroki's trying so hard to give this person relief.
The what?
So you don't. There's. Did you know that there's a portal behind your tent? Near your tent?
You mean the seal?
No. Okay.
How did you get here?
Insight check?
Yeah, insight check, please.
That's the party insight checks.
Hiroki, Jack, roll insight checks.
I love the idea that the lie is like this thing you get when you're 5. What do you mean the cookies are gone, Mom? What portal?
Or they have chocolate around their mouth. I didn't eat the cupcake.
11?
4.
Whoa. Whoa. Those are two very different rolls.
Jack Arena is on this person's ass. They're like, I ate food for this.
I feel like Jack
your
Randa
face.
is like looming over this person.
And so is Viridian.
Okay, so 11, hard to read. You're not entirely sure. This is a lot of information. Jack, the DC for this check was 24. There is a feeling, a gut feeling, despite your suspicions and whatever your personal feelings may be, there is a gut feeling that comes over you that's like, oh no, he's lying. And it's like a ripple. It's like, oh no, it's not just the portal he's lying about.
Viridian jumps from my shoulder onto Aika. Just like
Yeah,
immediate,
him.
like jumps on. And then I want to keep in mind like where Viridian lands, if it's like actually like on what we see, or if it's like something.
It is indeed
Else.
lands
Okay.
straight on his shoulder, and he kind of looks to the side a little, and it's just, hello, friend.
And then since our thing works, our brain connection, they're lying about everything.
I come back, or should I keep watching this portal?
They're also ancient and likely very powerful. So how do we want to play this?
Long for now? Listen, if we stay and play along, they will have to keep up this ruse of I just walk around and light the candles. I don't know about the portal.
But if we take them to the portal and they tell us to, and we are led through the portal and there's a trap on the other side.
No. We keep them from being able to use it.
While we're communicating this, Mara's like, how did you get here? Because that's what she said before everyone started making rolls.
Mhm.
How?
I had a little dinghy bring me.
And then the dinghy went where?
It's
Mm.
been a while. Might have drifted off into the ocean. Might have.
How long is a while? Because you keep saying, you've been here like maybe. How long have you been here? How old are you exactly?
Don't really know.
Okay, so when did you arrive in conjunction to when
Is your
the
birthday?
War of the Scale happened?
When is my birthday? I have no idea. I have not tracked that in.
Are you
quite-
from this plane?
I have connections elsewhere, but I am most certainly here.
That
No,
one's
you're
been
here
hanging,
now.
That one's been hanging around.
Where
now
did you
too much.
come from previously? So you're not a dragon, you're not an elf. Are you some other type of fae?
I'm not a fae. No. This was so much easier when it was common bandits. All right, come. And they
Where?
take a moment. I will take you to my home.
No.
Mm.
Tell me where.
I don't get into vans with strangers, so no.
Fine then. You watch as they take a neutral stance for a moment. They put their hands down and kind of just stretch out a little bit. As they do
And
so,
Mara's hand goes to her sword.
as they do so, they kind of just crackle around a little bit. There's kind of like the just the cracking of an old tired body moving, essentially.
I feel that
Um,
deeply.
As they suddenly rise up, upright. Those golden irises are now a bright light, a vibrant, beautiful, shining gold beacon. You see the locks of hair tied up begin to change from a black brown to this very dramatic, vibrant gold coloration. As they look towards you all, clearly, you are the ones that I've actually been waiting for. This is good. I am a culter, and I have questions.
Okay, spell that for me, right? Because
The god that we just learned about?
oh,
As they stare directly towards you, and this golden halo begins to form above their heads and kind of spread outwards and kind of creates this very bright and majestic kind of like light crown across the back here, and continues down, begins to form into a set of white and gold inlaid robes that seem to stem from there and begin to cover the body itself.
Oh, they
As
fancy.
they stare off towards you, there's a slight
Mara stares the god down. And?
as they turn 180 and begin walking to the back of the cavern. And that's where we'll end our session.
No. Oh, it's no fucking idea that a god's coming back here.
Shaggy's angel starts playing.
What?
Holy
What?
shit. Is this the first god we've met?
Well, this
Well, I mean, sanctuary and harmony.
This is the first, but they aren't worshipped as deities. Like, they have that kind of power, but this
Well,
is
not anymore, but yes.
do a quick round the horn and give people a chance to plug what they want to plug real quick.
I want to plug anything except for everyone should be back here next Monday night.
We were on this god's ass.
Yeah.
Totally valid.
I'm just
also
some
need a
random
better cover
person
story.
here on this island. What do you mean?
Foot on the gas.
It's like, yeah, Mara doesn't need an insight check. She doesn't trust this person who's just, I'm just here.
I'm just
You're here poking at things. No.
Sometimes people come by. What do you mean sometimes people come by and cast magic? What do you mean they cast magic?
Yeah.
I don't have
worst cover
magic.
story.
I don't have a birthday. What do you mean you don't have a birthday? Well, I don't remember it. What do you mean?
Shiroki's very upset about this not having a birthday thing.
Oof,
Yeah,
alright.
that's the most crushing part.
Like, how am I supposed to make a cake for you?
I guess
I don't know your
to
birthday.
be fair, Jack also doesn't have a birthday, so I shouldn't have been that suspicious.
Yeah.
We
I mean,
didn't
I do
have
have a birthday, but again, it's funny. I don't remember my childhood either. I just woke up and I was
Yeah, but
I
you
was
like
moving.
just woke up. This person was like, I don't know. I'm just here.
And all the answers. I was like, you look like you're like 12 and you're giving me answers that
I
suggest you're not
T-posed
12.
all the way here on a dinghy.
Mhm. A dinghy, yeah, across the ocean.
How
Gotta
did you
teach
get
these
here? A dinghy.
We have to teach these powerful beings we meet better cover stories.
Yeah.
Like,
We need to teach them the modes of transportation that are acceptable
Yeah.
in certain areas of the world.
how did you get here? A dinghy? Across the ocean? Yeah, and then I left it. No.
Oh, what's
okay.
in the ocean when I got here?
Yeah.
You came on a boat. What if they asked you on a boat? Say you don't remember. That's normal. That's a normal answer.
Obviously, they are not the god of deception.
Yeah.
Not the
Good
dinghy.
thing.
Because they are terrible at it.
What are we? We're saying bye.
Round the
Yes,
horn.
yeah.
Awesome.
Bye.
Yeah, just
Just make sure you're back here Monday. We're just all upset.
Is that it? We just doing a cold close?
Bye.
I can do a cold close. That's fine.
All right. Goodbye, everyone.
See you next week.
So what the fuck happened? See you. Bye. Transitioning.